Okay, so the first map we're going to have a look at here is going to be on Kanal, and you've probably seen these zero cam spots before, but if you haven't, these are absolutely insane. So the first one you're going to want to shoot is like up here, and then you're going to want to shoot another one either in this third window or all the way here on the fourth window, and you're going to want to make sure you don't shoot it too far in. You don't want to break the glass. You're going to be able to see all the way into both objectives here. You even get a little bit into the hallway, and on the other camera you can see a little bit more into, you know, where the breach will be, and you can see a little bit more down the hallway, so you can see if anyone's holding this angle. Both of these cameras are going to be great intel for you and your team, and you're going to be able to use it to make call outs to make plays later on in the round. And the next camera spot is going to be if you're pushing up through the construction site side, once again pushing the upstairs objective. So you're going to want to whip out your camera and just shoot it up in this side up here. This is more for just checking and then seeing if any flanks happen later on the round. So you'll shoot this camera here, you'll check if anyone's here, you'll make your push upstairs, preferably with your primary out. You'll be able to make any plays into here. Once you like get control of sight and stuff, your dead teammates will be able to use this to watch for any flanks from the stairs, or if they're coming around the hallway. Similarly, if you want to push in through the garage, there's two camera spots that you can use when pushing this side. The first one you can shoot is up here. Now this one's going to be pretty hidden and no one's really going to be checking it, but it's quite a niche little one to be using. If you're attacking this bomb site in the map room, it can be a little bit more useful because they're not really going to be shooting it. But other than that, it's just used for checking if anyone's holding this angle, and then you can come around here once again and shoot one up here. Now when you shoot your zero cam here, it actually is essentially invisible. No one's going to be looking up here, and even if they are looking for it, it's extremely hard to see. It's right there and you can barely see it, even when I've told you exactly where it is and we're looking directly at it. It's literally one of those camera spots that's like almost invisible because it blends in so well in that dark corner, and you'll be able to watch the top of red stairs, which is a pretty busy area of the map. And what zero camera spots do I have if they are playing in the basement? Now the first one I like to do is just put one here. It's a pretty obvious one, but it's just going to help with your team when you're pushing through. So this will probably get shot pretty quickly, but essentially you're above like this little fan, and you get a pretty good look at hallway. But as I said, if anyone's on this doorway, you'll be able to tell them where they're being watched from, which angles to look out for when they swing this corner. And overall, it's just going to give you quite a lot of intel. And if they don't shoot it and they don't see it at first, this is going to be great intel for the entirety of the round when pushing the basement objective. And moving on through archives into the Coast Guard meeting room, another pretty good spot when attacking the basement objective. It's right in between these like legs of the chair. Once you drill through to the other side, you're going to be like above this little like cabinet thing. It can get shot. It's quite easy to see, especially against like the white ceiling, but it does give you some pretty good intel. Once again, if you have like someone else playing and you're just giving call outs to them on where the defenders are in the objective, this can be such a strong spot. And then once again, moving over into the radio room, another pretty good spot is just right underneath this chair. If you shoot this here, it's going to give you a pretty good look in the diving room. You can see the window, as you can see as I jumped in over here, and it also gives you a pretty good view on the entirety of here up to kayaks. And the final camera spot I have to show you guys is just over here. If we crouch in this corner and just shoot it right next to this bag, it doesn't have to be too precise. It actually gives you a pretty good camera for the locker room. Now, a lot of people like to play behind this blue locker here, and just in general like to rotate back and forth between the shower area. Now, if you've managed to take sight, or you're pushing down these stairs and you just want to flank cam for later, a good spot to put one is just in that top corner there. It's pretty hard to see, and as you can see, it gives you a pretty good view at the bottom of the stairs, but it also gives you good coverage at the top of the stairs for if they flank back this way later on in the round. Of course, that doesn't really matter too much if you have this camera set up, because you can also get it, but it does show you if anyone's pushing this way a little bit earlier, and so you can pre-fire when they swing the yellow stairs. And the final little flank cam I wanted to show you guys is a pretty good one for this area of the map. All you're going to want to do is just shoot it behind the main camera here. If you're a defender, you're not going to be looking up in this direction, plus it's pretty covered by this pipe here. Once again, you can kind of see the lower sky bridge, but you can also see at the top of the hallway here, and you can watch the stairs as well. So this is probably a better camera than the one in this room, but it's really down to preference and how you think you should be setting up for the bomb site that you're attacking. So the next map we're going to have a look at is Bank, and this one is crucial for the jewelry front spawn. Now the first thing you're going to want to do when you spawn in jewelry front is aim just over here, and you can shoot the main lobby camera right there. You can also shoot this one, and then you're going to want to pull out your zero camera and just shoot it all the way up through that window, and this is going to give you a perfect zero camera spot to watch the entirety of lobby. You can watch at the top of the lobby stairs as well, and if they're playing on the downstairs objective in tellers, you can also watch that as well. And a lot of defenders like to like rotate up and around this area of the map late game as well, so if anyone's dead they can watch this and then you can give callouts. Now if you're attacking the CEO office, there's a few cameras that you're going to want to put down at the start of the round. When you rappel up on this wall, be careful that no one shoots you through that wall. Once again, it's something that you can watch from this camera if anyone's trying to shoot you through that little window up there. But the first thing you're going to want to do is come here to this window, punch this out, and just shoot a little camera up on there. Now it is pretty visible once again, but hopefully no defender is going to be looking here. It just gives you a pretty good overall view of the square area, and it's a little bit of an alternate camera to the more common one, which is up here. Now if you want to see what the more common one looks like, it is a better camera overall, but as I said, it's a little bit more common, so some people might see it. What you're going to want to do is just shoot it on the black part of the skylight over here, and as you can see, the view of this one, you can see all the way down there into the bottom end of the hallway. It's going to be great if you're pushing it through this area, but you cannot see the actual staircase, whereas on this one you can look over here and see this, but you just can't see down the hallway. You can use both if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it. Instead, I would use your cameras elsewhere, like over on this skylight. If you shoot it once again on the little black area so it blends in a little bit more, you're going to be able to get this view on the top of the hallway. You can shoot it a little bit more over on the right there to get a little bit of a better angle into the conference room, but overall you're just going to want a camera here so you can watch stairs if anyone's rotating up or down late game, and it's just good intel. Now we do have some other alternatives as well. If you come over here to this corner of the roof, you can also do this if you spawn the other side of the map, but if you just rappel down here, you can shoot two cameras. You can shoot one at the bottom half of the wall, and you can shoot one at the top half of this wall, and you can use both of these cameras quite effectively. So this first one, you're going to be able to see most of the lobby again, and when you drill through the wall, sometimes this wall is reinforced, but once again you can usually just drill through it anyway. You're going to be able to get a great angle of the entirety of the hallway. You'll see a little bit of elevators. Sometimes people like to hide in there, and you can also see into the front desk area a little bit as well, and this is such a strong camera spot because you can also see the top of hallway. As for the other camera, as you can see, it's not going to be as useful when facing that way, but when you drill through to the other side, you're going to be able to watch the entirety of the downstairs flank. So if they're playing in basement, this is going to be a little bit more useful of a camera, because if you're playing on the hatches or whatever, you can see if anyone's rotating up or down. The next map we're going to be having a look at then is going to be Oregon. Once again, these are quite popular locations to put camera spots, but they're just the most effective, to be honest. The first one is going to be in classroom. This is if they have reinforced a wall over here. What you're going to want to do is come to this corner of the room, wait until you get that arrow pointing upwards, as you can see here, and then just shoot your camera, drill it through to the other side, and then you're just going to want to shoot any bandit or Qaids that are on the wall and clear it. Once you've destroyed the stuff on the wall, it's not really going to be that useful of a camera, so you're not really going to be using that for the rest of the round. Similarly, if you go over here into meeting hall, you can also get the upstairs attic reinforced wall as well. Once again, shoot it here, drill through to the other side, and you can shoot any bandits or Qaids that are on this wall, and this will allow your hard breaches to get through this wall or the other wall upstairs and have an easier push. Now, one of the things you need to know about this map is the kids' dorms is the most popular objective, and just underneath that we have the kitchen objective. And if you come into the kitchen objective, there's a few different camera spots that you can use. It's really down to preference. The first one, you're going to shoot around about here on this little square in the roof here. Once again, drill through to the other side, and you're going to be underneath the bed. The bomb is normally right in front of where I'm looking right now, but as you can see, even with the bomb there, you're still going to get a pretty good view of the entirety of the thing. You'll be able to watch the rotate as well, and a lot of people like to play in this area of the map. You also have a few alternate camera spots as well. You can shoot one just above the fridge here if you line it up and drill through to the other side. This time you'll be underneath the bed that's in the middle of the room. You'll be able to watch a little bit more of the main hall area, and then you'll see a little bit further into the rotate as well. On top of that, if you come in front of this cooker as well, you can shoot another one here. You can also come over to the hatch and you can shoot one in this corner as well. And once again, both of those are other alternatives. This one you're not going to be able to see all the way through the rotate, but sometimes they have a mirror set up here that you can shoot, so that one's quite useful. And if you drill up through this this one, you'll be underneath this bed, where you can see a little bit further that way. You can see a little bit of the mirror setup, but you'll be able to see all the way through the rotate. Other than that, a good flank cam, once again, it's going to be at the top of this stairs. This one's quite a common one, but if you're a defender, you're not really going to be checking up here, especially if it's late game and you're rotating back to site after the diffuser's been put down. But that's a pretty good corner to put one in to watch these stairs. If you have managed to get access to the site as well, if you shoot one right here, this is a good vault cam spot as well, but you can also double it as a good zero cam position, and you can just see when anyone's pushing here. And from the attacker, or in this case defender point of view, you cannot see the camera at all until you're literally here looking at it. And as you can see, by that point, you've got an entire view of that operator. With that being said, I am out of ammo, but another good spot is just to shoot zero cams up here as well. You'll be able to watch both this side of trophy room, but also drill through to the other side and watch the entirety of attic as well if anyone's playing up here, but that's all down to preference. Also, if you open up this wall from the outside, you can shoot a zero cam like up here, and that's another good way of telling if anyone is playing in attic. The next map we're going to be having a look at then is going to be Clubhouse. This is another one of the maps that I actually really do like to play zero on, because there's quite a lot of variation of the camera spots you can put down. Now, the first zero camera spot you're going to be able to put down is going to be able to watch all of these windows for spawn peaks. It's going to be able to check if there are any runouts and if anyone's just peeking any of the general area, and it's just by shooting a camera on that sign. Now, it's not going to be too useful, but as I said, you are going to be able to see quite a lot. If you can see movement through any of these windows when attacking the upstairs objectives, it's going to be great. If you see someone about to jump out of this window, you can ping it for your teammates. Once again, if anyone's doing a weird little run out or peek or whatever in any of this area, you can also ping it. But moving over to more of the normal spots, the first one you're going to be able to do is just on the top of rafters. If you shoot a zero cam right in this top corner up here, make sure you don't hit the barricade. Damn, as I literally just did. Make sure you shoot it in that corner, try not to hit the barricade, and as you can see, your zero camera up here is covered quite well by a lot of the poles and poster stuff that's going on. You can see all the way down there, and sometimes even shoot the bandit off the wall there. And you can literally watch the entirety of rafters. If we come in here and have a look, you're not going to be able to see it at all when the light is off, but obviously when you're on that camera, it does do a little green light, so you've got to be careful about that. Now, if you're pushing in through this window here, what you can do is normally shoot out the bandit batteries or Qaid claws that are there. If you can't seem to shoot it, what you can do is shoot a zero cam right in this spot as I'm doing now, drill through to the other side, and you'll kind of be covered by this little like filing cabinet in the middle, and you can shoot any bandits, Qaids or anything. Sometimes they like to hide it off that side or over on this side. If you can see it, you can shoot it, and it also gives you a little bit view down eastern stairs as well. One thing I just wanted to point out as well is you don't actually have to be in the building to be able to do this. All you got to do is punch out a thing here and you can just shoot it anywhere over there, and all you got to do is just drill it through to the other side and quickly shoot the bandit or Qaids that are on this wall, and hopefully you can clear it off for the entirety of the thing. It will get shot, it's not as hidden when it's in front of that little server thing there, but overall it's a pretty good camera and a quick way of getting rid of early utility off the wall. Now, if you actually do push in through this way, another pretty good camera is if you line up with basically the middle of this doorway and then just slowly move backwards and shoot your camera around about here. When you drill through to the other side, you'll be underneath this little desk where the bucket is normally, and you can get quite a lot of intel from this position. Actually, you can really tell if anyone's playing in CCTV. Sometimes they have like some kind of rotate on this wall as well that you might be able to see through from this position, and sometimes there'll be a rotate on this wall as well that you can see through. A similar one as well is if you come into the stock room and you line yourself up round about here. If you line yourself up with the bit of numbers here and just shoot your way through there, when you drill through to the other side, you're going to be underneath this desk. You're going to be able to get a little bit more intel on the cache side. So with these two cameras alone, you basically have the entirety of the bomb site covered. All you don't have is like the top of these stairs over on this side, which, while we're on the topic of, you can actually shoot a camera here. It's going to be quite visible and it can get shot. You could shoot a camera here. You're not going to get too much intel, but you can watch the rotate. If you just want to check if anyone's there quickly, just shoot a camera there. Try not to hit the side of the light like I just did there. Try and be a little bit more careful with it, but normally you'll be able to watch here and then you'll be able to turn the camera all the way around to the rotate as well. And this is just a great way of checking if there's anyone here, if there's any like traps or anything on the floor, and then you can rush up, you can shoot through the rotate, and then you can check if anyone's on that side. Now, if you're pushing the basement objective, there is a few cameras that I like to use. The first one I like to do is just shoot it almost in the floor. Basically, you're going to want to shoot it as low as you possibly can on the ladder. Put it in the floor if you have to. And then basically, you're just going to get a long view all the way down here. Try not to shoot it on the actual metal part. You're going to want to stick it to the wall if you can. And then you're going to be able to watch the entirety of the utility room blue hallway. And once you've pushed up, what you can do is shoot a camera up in this little corner up here. And this is such a hidden camera spot. And you can watch the entirety of the Arsenal objective, and in fact you can even see slightly into the church objective as well. So if anyone's playing on the doorway of church, it's actually pretty well hidden up there. No one's really going to be checking there, especially if you're like at this angle. You pretty much have to be playing around this area to see it or hear it. Now, the next camera spots actually come when you're either pushing up these stairs or you're trying to attack basement once again. No matter which objective you're attacking, these stairs are crucial for the defender rotate. So you're going to want to put some kind of flank watch on these stairs. A common one is to put it up here, which isn't a bad spot, but as I said, it's quite common nowadays, so a lot of the defenders are probably going to be looking for this, and you can just watch the top of stairs and the bottom of the stairs, which isn't too bad. Another sneaky one that I like to do is just shoot it at the top of the thing up here. It's covered quite well by this like little pipe or whatever it is. You can see and ping anything going on in the center of this. You can also look down here and see the doorway, so if you want to do a specific yellow ping saying someone is in kitchen, you can still do it from this camera. Now, if you're pushing down these stairs, one, you're going to want to watch out for this angle. If it's been cleared, you can actually shoot a camera right up in this top corner, and that's a pretty good way of then checking if anyone is actually playing in church. If you use this camera and see no one's playing here and you've cleared the bottom down here, you can quickly run straight across and hopefully not get shot, and you'll know that majority of this area is going to be cleared up until this point. And then the final zero camera spot actually comes in kitchen. If you want to clear logistic above you, what you're going to want to do is just come into this corner here, count 3 of these lighter planks across, count 3 up, and then you're just going to want to shoot it pretty much right there. And when you drill through to the other side, you're going to be underneath this desk here. You're going to be able to see anyone playing in the little cupboard here, and you're just going to be able to check if anyone's playing in this room. So it will give you the clear if anyone's dropping this hatch. On top of that, it's also just a pretty good kitchen camera as well, because no one's really going to be checking up there. If you're in majority of this place, it's going to be covered. You can actually see if anyone's coming through this way as well. So that's actually just a pretty good camera if someone's playing in kitchen. The final map I'm going to go over in this video is going to be Chalet. There's a few good zero camera spots for this map and for a few of the objectives when pushing. The first thing you're going to want to do if you're attacking the upstairs objective is just punch something out here and just shoot a zero cam anywhere in the floor up here. Like, it doesn't actually matter. But one thing you're going to want to do is once you drill through to the other side, you're going to want to be as fast as you can, because you're going to want to shoot any bandits or Qaids that are on this wall, or this wall, sorry, and then you're going to want to destroy it as quickly as possible, because it's quite out in the open, and it will get destroyed as soon as someone realizes you are playing zero and you're trying to get rid of the bandits and stuff. But if you can do it quite quick, you should be fine. On top of that, you can come up here as well, and this is quite a risky one because you can get shot from anywhere when you're doing this. But if you just open up a little bit of the area there, you can shoot a zero camera up there, which is a pretty good spot. It's going to allow you to watch the majority of mezzanine, especially over on this side, because you can't actually see too much because of the pillar, and some people like to play behind it and then peek you very quickly. As you can see, you kind of got to look at it to be able to see it. If you're just playing normally, you're not really going to notice it that much, but overall it's just still a decent spot. Now, if you've cleared the fireplace, you can actually put a zero camera right here, and you're actually able to clear all of the utility off the wall on the snowmobile basement objective. And as you can see, because of the banisters here, it's actually quite a hidden camera. No one's really going to be looking at it unless they're playing in front of the snowmobile. But as you can see, you'll be able to shoot anything there. And then you can also come over to this side over here, and just pretty much anywhere along this bit, you can shoot a zero cam. And when you drill through to the other side, you can have a pretty good look at the wine cellar objective. As you can see here, you can see all the way up. You can also clear any utility off that wall. You can watch the wine cellar bit over there. This just gives you pretty good coverage of this objective. That camera gives you a pretty good way of clearing the utility off the wall. I guess if you wanted to, you could also shoot a camera in here, and this will give you an idea of if anyone's playing in the little storage room connector area. And if you push down the fireplace stairs, you can actually shoot a zero camera in that corner. Now they'll probably hear it and probably shoot it, but it is an easy way of just seeing if anyone's in the entirety of this area of the map, because obviously you can't really see it from this one. So if you put another one here, you can see the entirety of this objective plus the stairs if they're rotating stairs back to the objective. You can watch all of the storage room, all of wine cellar, and you can clear the utility off the wall. But with that being said, I think that's the final map for this video. If you want me to do the rest of the maps, or if you know a few other camera spots, let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.